Hello everybody. So we're going to carry on thinking about the invertebrates that live in our gardens and our outside spaces and roundabout. I'm sure lots of you have noticed that there are a lot of flying insect pollinators around at the moment. So quite often you might see bees or wasps around at the moment, and also I've started to notice lots and lots of butterflies around, which is really lovely. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to encourage more butterflies to come to my garden. So butterflies and other pollinating insects like bees feed on nectar, which is a sugary liquid that flowers make, and when they come to drink the nectar on the flowers, they pick up pollen by mistake, and then they carry that from flower to flower, and that's how flowers get pollinated and eventually make seeds. So in order to encourage more butterflies into my garden, I'm going to recreate that. I'm going to make a butterfly feeder full of something really sugary and lovely that the butterflies would like to come and feed on. So the first thing you need to do is, I've got a piece of card and I've just cut out a butterfly shape. So if you've got an old cereal packet or any piece of card that you could use, card is better than paper just because it's a little bit stiffer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate it to look like a butterfly. So I've actually folded it in half already, so it's got a crease down the middle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some paint on one side, just in some nice pattern. So I've got some purple paint here and some red paint. So I'm just going to do a few purple stripes. You can use whatever colours you've got. Remember, the thing that attracts butterflies and pollinators to flowers is their really bright, vibrant colours. So that's why I've chosen some bright colours to use on my design. So I'm just putting a little bit of red on as well. And then what you notice when you look closely at butterflies is that their wings, the pattern on their wings, is symmetrical. So the pattern on one wing is exactly the same as the pattern on the other wing. So what I'm hoping is, now that I've put paint on one side of my butterfly wing, is that if I then fold it in half and press it down onto the other side, when I open it up, I will have made a symmetrical wing pattern. There we go. So that's my butterfly pattern design. So I'm just going to leave that to dry. And whilst that's drying, I'm going to show you how to make the part of the butterfly feeder that the butterfly food can go in. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a sort of tin foil bit that goes down the middle of your butterfly pattern. So when it's dry, I'm going to glue my tin foil bit to the middle. So for this, you need about 20 centimetres or so of tin foil. So sheet of tin foil like that. What you need to do is fold it over into a sort of long, thin rectangle first of all. And then what I'm going to do, if I just tilt this down a bit so you can see a bit better, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold up the edges of my tin foil, fold up the ends to make a sort of, almost like a sort of boat shape, like that. So it's a long, thin dish shape, like that. So I've sort of folded it up to make a sort of boat shape. And what I'm then going to do, when my butterfly is dry, I'm going to glue that into the centre. So that makes like the butterfly body, and that will be where I'm going to put my butterfly food. So I'm going to wait for my butterfly to dry and then I'll go off and do that. And I'm also going to make my butterfly food. And I've got a recipe here from one of my books. And butterflies like anything that is sticky and sweet. So what you can do is you can make a kind of sugar syrup by dissolving sugar in water. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a butterfly food using bananas and brown sugar. So I'm just going to read you my recipe. I'm going to take an old banana, perhaps if you've got a banana that's gone a bit old and not very nice to eat, you can mush that up and then you add in a couple of big spoons of brown sugar, if you've got brown sugar at home, and a bit of water, and you heat it up. You'll need to get an adult to help you. Heat it up on the hob at home, boil it up until it goes all sort of sticky and gooey, a bit like sort of toffee, and then let it cool down, and that'll make a really, really delicious butterfly food that the butterflies will really, really love. So I'm going to go and have a go at that now, and I'll let you know how I get on. So here is the butterfly food that I'm making. So the recipe is 1 ripe banana that you need to mash up with a fork, and then to that you add 100 grams of dark brown sugar. If you've got dark brown sugar, I wouldn't think it would matter if you used a different type of sugar. And then 250 millilitres of water. You put all of that together in a pan, and you need to simmer it and stir it until it turns into a sort of sticky, gooey liquid, and then turn it off and let it cool. So I think mine's nearly done. I'm going to simmer it just for a tiny bit longer, and then I'm going to let it cool before I put it into my butterfly feeder. So I finished making my butterfly food, and I stopped simmering it when it had got to a sort of pourable liquid. It's quite thick, like a kind of syrupy sauce. It smells absolutely delicious, and I don't mind saying that I think I wouldn't mind being a butterfly if I got to eat that. It's like a kind of banana-y toffee. Delicious. So that's mine. That's what mine looks like there. And actually the recipe makes quite a bit, so I think I'm going to keep mine and use it over the next few days. What I've done is I've glued my sort of boat-shaped dish, my tinfoil dish, onto the centre of my butterfly. And what I'm going to do, if I just tip this down so you can see, I'm just going to spoon some of the liquid into the middle of the butterfly feeder like that. So you don't need a lot. That's why I was saying that actually you could probably save all of your butterfly food and fill it up every day. So that's the amount that I've put in, just a little bit in the bottom there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my butterfly feeder somewhere in my garden where I think butterflies would like. So it's quite windy today, so I'm going to put it somewhere sheltered so that it doesn't blow away, but also somewhere in the sunshine. And hopefully I'll get some butterflies coming to visit it. And if I do, I'm going to try and take a photograph of them so that I can share it with you. So have fun making your butterfly food. If you just want to make the food, you don't need to make the butterfly shape to put it in. You could just put a little bit in a little dish or on a little plate and put it somewhere in your garden that's sunny and see if it attracts any butterflies. So have fun doing that, and I'll see you next time. Bye.